Alright guys, what's going on? It's Monday back in Denver and I just came outside at about 1 o'clock and it's actually really warm. It's like 65, feels like 70. So a few videos have gone by and let's just say that the voiceover that I was in Orlando doing in the car and saying no one cares about you and your goals, basically back here, and all I have is you guys, the gym, what I want to do with my life, and that's what we're gonna go do right now. Rain or shine, happy or sad. It's 75 degrees out and it was snowing a week ago. So in this video, all right y'all, Tuesday morning leg day. We hit chest on Sunday with young Kayla, back on Monday yesterday. But when Kayla and I got in, it was literally 71 degrees the day after we got in, and we were enjoying all of Denver super comfortably. And now a couple days later, I gotta show you guys what the outside looks like. So come take a peek at my backyard. And yeah, crazy, Miami to Denver. All right guys, let's ride. All right guys, so here you have it. Outdoor Denver, probably below 30 degrees because we got some proper snow. All right, off to the gym. I guess I should drive carefully, right? Snowy driving. Eek. Follow me on Instagram, guys, so you can see me trolling. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. Donuts, 24 hours, warm and fresh. Nothing better than some warm and freshness 24 hours. You know what I mean. But we're here at the gym now, I'm pulling in. And a funny thing that I want to mention, which I know you South Florida peeps / Florida peeps in general can relate to, is that I feel like even the GPS here is much more punctual and on time, because in Miami it might say like 8 miles 15 minutes and you're in the car for 25 minutes. It's like the GPS is lying. Told me it would take about 18 to 20 minutes to get here, and I got here in exactly 13 minutes. So thank you, Denver, for being so proper with the time frame. Now let's park next to this badass Ford Raptor. No, that's scary. I'm scared. Automatic life. Pull for park. All right guys, what's going on? I figured I would try something new and do this voiceover outside because it's lovely out. And this is gonna be a longer one. This is gonna be my full workout that I've been doing lately to keep my leg mass and actually make gains with herniated discs in my lower back. I did get an MRI, but I never got it read because I started getting better. But there was a long time when I had to do this workout, and it definitely allowed my back to recover, so I stick with it. All right guys, so far so good at the start of this workout. We got our 3 sets of warm-ups in with the band and the hams. And I'm gonna basically go through my workout, which I recommend lots of my trainees so they can see, and you guys can see exactly what goes down. I'm gonna keep this reps a little lower so I can spend more time pausing like I preach. So let's get 4 to 5 sets of sumos done to start off the workout. So guys, I always do my band warm-ups, stepping side to side. I go forward, I go back. If you guys wanna watch how I do it there, I recommend trying that. And I'll also do a little bit of hamstring work. Now, I just feel that getting blood and stimulation to the glutes and the hamstrings makes my leg workout better overall. I really do a very, very low intensity, but it's almost like jogging. Like after a few minutes of doing it, or after 3 sets, it really burns, but I recover like that. So it's not zapping my strength whatsoever, and I've accumulated to the workload, or adapted to the workload accumulation. So everything feels great when I start sumo squatting, and it really helps me open up my hips and knees without any pain. So I will do that warm up with the band and the hamstring. I like to use a standing one for the warm up specifically, just because it feels the most natural, like it has the most carryover, any type of deadlift or squat motion. And then I'll get into sumos regularly. And I'm starting to get a little bit heavier on these now that I've figured out my foot placement, and just my mobility is so much better since I made that squat video, which I'll link in the description. It was a Mark Bell and Max Aida squatting tutorial, and it changed my squat. Even though I'm not barbell squatting, it changed what I think is a correct squat. And it allowed me to recruit my quads way more. And when you're using your quads more in a compound movement like the squat, you're gonna feel it less in your lower back, because you're taking your back and hamstring and glute leverage out of it, bringing the bar higher, standing more upright, and letting your knees go forward and out so you sit on your quads harder. And you can see what I'm doing here. It's basically as if I were picking up a weight off the ground without using my lower back. I just try to get to that position and then push up. And this is what a pause is. So my trainees that I send 2-second pauses to, it's about what you're seeing here. And what that does is it allows your thighs to get more muscle stimulation. You're not bouncing out of the hole. And normally I'll do 4 or 5 sets there, and you'll really feel it in your glutes just with 60 pounds, just what I went up there. But my goal is to get to 100 by the end of the year on the sumo, so we'll see if I can. And since I'm not barbell squatting or barbell deadlifting, just to make sure my herniated disc doesn't get aggravated, I'm in no rush. I pretty much use this to replace my front squats. And if you see my feet are kind of low on the platform, I generally used to put them very high so that I would have a vertical shin. But what I used to preach about vertical shin is really not correct, at least in a sense of it is not necessary to protect your knees, and if anything, it can hurt your lower back. So if you're dealing with any lower back pain, one, you're going to have to lower the weight. Because if you have back pain from squatting, it's probably because you're very posterior chain dominant, you good morning it, what have you. So if you switch to a high bar, pull your feet more under your hips, bring your hips more forward, and just break at the knees and plop down, you're gonna need a lot more quad development, and it's gonna take time. But honestly, my glutes and hams are a strong point in my legs. So if I can take them out of the squat a bit and add in my quads to do more work and protect my lower back, it's a win-win. So if I was powerlifting, this might not be a good idea because it might make 275 feel heavy, and where I could low bar close to 400 per se. But break at the knees and plop your ass right in between your heels. So hopefully I'll get to barbell squatting soon. It's not that I don't want to or I probably can't. It's just that I don't want to further injure myself or re-aggravate the injury, because I enjoy leg training like this for real. I used to walk in the gym and just deadlift and then squat, and then I would hate to do the accessory work, but now I'm more in tune with how much muscle stimulation I can get without just throwing a bunch of weight on my back or picking it up off the ground. So unfortunately, I can't do those regular manly heavy lifts that are super effective, but I'm finding ways around it, and that's with sumo squats and hack squats, because the amount of lateral loading you'll get with a barbell if you're tipping forward or back or pulling it off the ground is a lot. Your spine will have a lot of force going either way. But when you're doing the hack and you're doing a sumo, if you're doing them with the correct form, very quad dominant, you're gonna have almost no lateral spine loading. It's just gonna be compression. And that for my herniated disc is not a serious issue because the compression is balanced over the entire disc. But when you start good morning or you start deadlifting with shitty form, you really start to create a lot of pressure on one side of that disc, and that can cause it to collapse and push out the other end, and you can end up with a herniated disc. So that's no bueno. I hate when people say that. I don't know why I just said that. So I did 4 sets of sumos, 4 sets of hacks, ended up going pretty heavy on the hack. 3 places are out where I'm at, is about where I'm at. And then what you're seeing here to finish up is just 3 supersets. I call them supersets, but it's kind of just alternating back and forth as I rest. I'll do the seated hamstring for 3 sets, leg extension for 3 sets, and sometimes I'll do the seated ham 8 sets or 8 reps paused. Sometimes I'll do 2 sets of 8 and then a set of 20 just to burn it out without even really dropping the weight. It's all about how much tension you can create, how much you can squeeze and pause. That's really gonna make all of your movements more effective. So after the main thigh, I guess, work, I just did 3 sets of calve raises, took 3 plates on this machine to get any resistance, so my first couple sets were kind of a waste. I just did about 2 working sets, and calves are feeling and looking great here, and after that I did a little bit of anterior tibialis. So to recap, guys, do the bands, just go on Amazon and order loop bands, do some thigh or some hamstring work, and then if you're having back problems or your squat sucks and you know it sucks and you butt wink and you hunch over and stuff, do some sumos to start, and you're gonna notice that sitting in like a position like you had to poop outside is gonna start getting very easy. So do it, please, and stretch after. Alright guys, so it's my first time getting gas out here, and definitely different than South Florida. In South Florida it goes up to 93. I think it's 89, 91, 93 or 87. But here, the gas quality is not loyal. So I'm gonna go with this for 240. Usually in Miami I was paying about $3 for 93, so gas isn't that much cheaper, but the economy on this bad girl, 85 gas. I should be putting this in, but the software and the computer, the DME of the car is obviously gonna be perfect. So yeah guys, as I was saying, we're sticking with the lower grade gas, but the car is obviously designed, most of the cars that are driven up north all adapt to perfectly fine to the fuel. So maybe you might make a little bit less power, but it's negligible. It's perfectly fine for the motor. So $2.40 for my gas. Let's do this. How to be a good roommate 101. Clean up after yourself. And leave the kitchen cleaner than when you found it. Hot water here. Why is it at the DMV I always feel like a criminal, like there's a bad vibe, always? At least it's pretty.